I call on Government Order of the Day number 1.
Dairy Industry Restructuring Amendment Bill, third reading.
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Dairy Industry Restructuring Amendment Bill be now read a third time. The bill was tabled in the House in March this year. It had its first reading on the 3rd of April 2012, after which it was referred to the Primary Production Committee for consideration. The Select Committee reported the bill back to the House on the 6th of June, and the bill has now had its second reading and passed through the committee stages. Mr Speaker, the Dairy Industry Restructuring Act, or DIRA, promotes the efficient operation of New Zealand's dairy markets, ensuring freedom for dairy farmers to choose the processor of their milk. The contestability of milk supply provides incentives for all dairy companies to seek to innovate and to operate efficiently, so that the New Zealand dairy industry can reach its full potential. The bill is about ensuring that this contestability continues, but it also responds to a number of developments since DIRA was put into place over a decade ago. This bill will ensure that DIRA remains fit for purpose. Fonterra initiated discussions with the government in 2009 with a proposal to introduce trading amongst farmers, or TAF. Fonterra was concerned about the instability of its balance sheet under the DIRA's existing share issue and redemption requirements. Importantly, the ultimate decision on whether to proceed or not to proceed with TAF rested with Fonterra and its shareholders and not with the government. This was put to a vote last month, at which 66.45% of Fonterra shareholders voted in favour of TAF proceeding. This is the mandate on which Fonterra has said it is proposing to proceed with TAF. The government's job, therefore, is to complete the legislation process and enable trading amongst farmers to proceed. This bill ensures that when Fonterra launches TAF, farmers' freedom of entry into and exit from Fonterra is preserved. This in turn ensures that New Zealand's dairy markets remain contestable, because this creates the right environment for efficiency, for innovation and for growth. If TAF doesn't happen, or if TAF is wound up, the bill requires Fonterra to value its shares at a full fair value. This is also important, Mr Speaker, to ensure the freedom of entry and exit to and from Fonterra, because I strongly believe that farmers who decide to move on from Fonterra are entitled to a fair price. Further, it will ensure contestability of the farmgate milk price. This is why, unlike the share price of any other cooperative, Fonterra's share price is a public policy concern. Finally, the bill introduces a new regime to increase transparency of the way Fonterra sets its farmgate milk price, and provides confidence that the farmgate milk price is consistent with delivering a contestable market. Mr Speaker, due to Fonterra's dominance, Fonterra's farmgate milk price is effectively the price that all processors must pay in order to attract milk supply from farmers. Confidence and transparency is therefore crucial. If the farmgate milk price is consistent with the outcomes in a contestable market, then this means the price should be efficient, which in turn means that both Fonterra and its competitors will have the incentives to operate efficiently and to innovate. This continual endeavour for improvement brings benefits to the entire dairy industry, and therefore in turn to all New Zealanders. Mr Speaker, in 2001, the National Party, then in opposition, recognised the importance of cross-party support on such significant legislation for the dairy industry, and we voted accordingly. It is unfortunate and a personal disappointment to me that the Labor Party has decided that playing politics is more important than continuing this tradition of cross-party support for the dairy legislation. I am well aware that opposition to this bill is actually not unanimous within the Labor Party caucus. However, on balance, the decision has been made to stand beside the primary industry spokesman, Damien O'Connor, who, having not fully understood the legislation, has continued to paint himself into a corner over the last few months. This legislation does not mean the end of ownership of the Fonterra cooperative by its shareholders, as Mr O'Connor stated in the House last week. He should give more credit to the intelligence of Fonterra dairy farmers than that. It certainly does not give Mr Damien O'Connor any reason to accuse the Fonterra chairman of lying and stating that he did not, Mr O'Connor, did not trust Fonterra. That was the language used by Damien O'Connor that should never have been used in this Parliament. Mr Speaker, I can only hope that the Labor Party leadership sees past these negative politics and in the future does the right thing by providing this bill with the cross-party support that the original dairy industry restructuring legislation enjoyed. Mr Speaker, this bill is crucial to the ongoing growth of New Zealand's dairy sector and therefore to the ongoing economic prosperity of all New Zealanders. I commend this bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. The Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I rise to take the opportunity